It's mine workers against employers at the Uitkyk Asbestos Mine in Burgersfort in Limpopo. Workers are up in arms about the stalling of a rehabilitation process. They want to return to work, but others accuse the mine of making them work without proper protective gear. Newzroom Afrika's Pelane Phakgadi visited the mine to hear the issues there firsthand. He joins us now. Pelane, good afternoon to you. This problem, this lack of rehabilitation of the mine, the way that workers are being treated, this must have affected the community in that area.
Well, definitely, Stephen, and the effects in itself, you take that there will be on the health aspects, and that is what the community is currently complaining about. That asbestos is one thing that is quite harmful to people's health, and therefore, by all means, that it has to be rehabilitated, the mine in the area. So earlier in today, we were in Uitkyk, and we have followed a lot of the miners themselves, and they were telling us that while they are not being paid a lot, they're being paid less than 3,600 rands, they are tasked and charged with ensuring that the asbestos edits that are there are currently being rehabilitated, and some of them should be closed. And unfortunately, they tell us that they have no PPEs to do so, but for the last month or two, they have not been working simply because they do not have the correct PPE. So the contractor himself had told us, Stephen, that they do have challenges at this particular moment, and among them is the material delays that they've had from companies that are supposed to assist them with some of the materials that they use to close those particular edits. So the community in itself, Stephen, are complaining that the asbestos in the area should be closed. 54 million rand later and 2 contracts later, that seems to be not the case currently, and they want government to intervene urgently.
I mean, how does the mine deal with this? I mean, they're supposed to have a responsibility. The people who own it are supposed to have a responsibility to ensure that it's rehabilitated. They have a responsibility to the mine workers as well, and the community.
Well, definitely, Stephen, and the mine, I mean, just to give you a bit of background, the mine ceased to operate already in 1976, and that means the edits have been wide open for all these years, 45 years to be exact, and now that gives you an indication that in current days, the government saw it fit to ensure that they closed the edits together with the previous company. We are told that they're working together there. 54 million rand worth of a contract was taken out, and now what is expected is that there has to be implementation of resolutions, and as well as the tender process, which has already, of course, concluded. There has been an appointment in that regard, and the appointment was initially done in December 2018, and work, unfortunately, was only commenced in November 2019. There was a break in December 2019, and of course another lockdown break. Now, giving you an indication, the job was supposed to be completed in 8 months, and now it is almost 2.5 years later, and people are beginning to complain that all these millions rand might just end up being another asbestos scandal, just like there in the Free State, and then they urge government to urgently intervene so that there is no corruption whatsoever, and at the same time ensure that the edits are closed and the people in the area are safe, because asbestos might be a little bit dangerous if there is strong wind in the area, because we've seen some of the visuals that it is open, some of them are still fresh on the ground. They just need to be picked up and then stored in a place where it's no longer going to be perhaps have a negative impact on people when there's strong winds and rains, because they also go and flow into the community where, of course, it's quite dangerous for people to inhale such fibers.
Absolutely. Pelane Phakgadi, thanks very much indeed, live this afternoon from the site of that mine.